Good morning, my dear friends. Have you been in a position that you are very desperate, that you need somebody to come through for you? Have you been in that danger, mortal danger, that you really, or you are very desperate for a help from a friend or a family? Have you been disappointed, or have you been betrayed in a business deal? I have a story for you. I have this friend of mine. He was the richest in his circle, and wherever they went to social gathering, he was the one who used to chip in and pay for the bills. He had clandestine relationship here and there. Namenunua gas. I buy tokens. So a time came that he was fired from his workplace, and all his friends disappeared. His phone went quiet. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anampigia simu. Before he could receive countless phone calls. But after word went out that Sosa may lose his job, his phones went silent. Nobody was checking on him. And the people he was buying gas and topping up tokens, they ghosted him. But lucky enough for him, his wife is still employed. She's an ECD teacher, early childhood development, and at least they have a head, they have a roof on their head, and they are not sleeping hungry. Although not the house they used to stay, they downgraded. Wanakaa sahi, wanakaa single room, na watoto walipeleka public school. And also there is this scenario. I want also to paint it to you. You are in dire financial crunch. You need money urgently because you took a Shylock loan and they are about to take your car. You go to your friend, unamwambia ile situation uko nayo, anasikiza, newe unafunguka kabisa. You open up, you pour all your problems to your friend in hope that he will help you. But after you are done, you best yako anakuambia, oh pole, nakufeel, but siwezi kusaidia sababu cousin ya shosho ni mgonjwa. The cousin to my grandmother is sick. You just come with the lame excuse not to help you. But I'll tell you of a person who helped a lady. That lady was to be condemned, was to die at that particular time, but he came through for him. Today we are reading from John chapter 8, from verse 1 all the way to 11, and I read. Jesus returned to the Mount of Olives, but early the next morning he was back again at the temple. A crowd soon gathered, and he sat down and taught them. As he was speaking, the teacher of religious law and Pharisee brought a woman they had caught in the act of adultery. They put her in front of the crowd. Teacher, they said to Jesus, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say? They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him, but Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer, so he stood up again and said, all right, stone her. But let those who have never sinned throw the first stones. Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Then Jesus stood up again and said to her, "Where are your accusers? Did even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." You see this scenario. This woman was caught in the act of adultery. And they timed Jesus when he had a large crowd. He was teaching. And at that time, Jesus was very popular. Large crowd were following him. And it was at that moment that as he was teaching, these guys brought a woman. The Pharisee and teachers of the law, they brought a woman. And they said, "We have caught her at the act of adultery." Imagine the large crowd. And they have brought her. Imagine, yeah? Shaming her. Bringing her in front of very many people. And said such kind of things. When you say it in mother tongue, it sounds bad. I'm sure even in Hebrew that day, when they said it in their mother tongue, it really sounded bad. But they didn't care. They brought her to shame her, to expose her in front of very many people, large crowd, as you have heard. He was teaching the loud crowd, and they brought her at the middle of the crowd. And they told Jesus, "We have caught this woman at the act of adultery, and the law of Moses demands that she be stoned to death. What do you say?" Jesus started writing on the ground with his finger. He didn't answer them. Continue writing. But they kept pestering him. "What do you say?" Jesus answered them and told them, "Let the first, whoever have never sinned, ule ambaye hajaifanya dhambi, akuwe wa kwanza kurusha mawe." Anyone who has never sinned, let be the one to throw the first stone. And Jesus continued writing on the ground. All of them out of shame. Imagine. Walikuwa analeta huyu mother aibike. But Jesus stood there and told them. I'm sure they knew Jesus. Kama kuna mtu angechukua mawe arushe. Jesus knew all of them. Jesus is God in human flesh. That one I'll teach another time. He's God in human flesh. So he knows every person there. Na anajua dhambi zao. So he was like, there. Wewe kuwa wa kwanza kuchukua mawe kugonga huyo mother. There. And I'll expose you in front of this crowd. I think they realized. Na wakasema, mimi sitakuwa kwanza kurusha mawe. So all of them, they went. And they left the woman there. They left the woman there with Jesus and the crowd again. You see, they had brought this woman to shame him in front of the crowd. Now they are the one walking away in shame because Jesus has said categorically, yule ambaye hajaifanya dhambi akuwe wa kwanza kurusha mawe. And they walked away in shame. So Jesus asked this woman, "Has anyone condemned you?" And she said, "No." And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." So in that desperate situation that we are in, come to Jesus. Some of the problems that we have are as a result of our own doing. Maybe you are in financial crisis because of various financial mistake that you did. Wakati ulikuwa na do, kazi yako ilikuwa sherehe hapa, sherehe pale. I'm not condemning you. I'm just telling you some of the mistake or some of the troubles that we are in are as a result of our own doing. This woman, as much as they are accusing her, she was found doing what the law of Moses was against. Despite that, Jesus didn't condemn her. She forgave her. Jesus has the power to forgive, and told her, go and sin no more. So that trouble that you are going through, come to Jesus and He will help you. If you are in a certain situation that you, do I say wewe ndio ulijipelekea kwa hiyo mashida, na kuambia kuja kwa Yesu sahi, na atakuokoa na atakuibisha. Kuja kwake sahi. Lakini ukishaokoka usirudie ile dhambi ulikuwa unafanya hapo mbeleni. Ukiokoka, okoka. So this morning I'm telling you, come to Jesus with all your burdens that you have. He will not expose you. Yesu atasikiza shida zako alafu ende ambie mabesti zako ili akuaibisha. Hapana. Yesu atakusaidia. Na kama wewe hujaokoka, kuja kwa Yesu sahi. Maybe this voice is reaching to you for a purpose. And it is as a result of God telling you to come to Him. Maybe unasikiza hii sauti yangu. Ni Mungu anataka usikie huyu ujumbe. Na anakutaka kuja kwake. God is seeing the way that you are going. Hiyo njia ambayo unapitia pale mbele. Pale mbele kuna shida. Na saa hii ninakuambia, wacha kutumia hiyo njia. Kuja kwa Yesu saa hii, okoka. Sababu ukiendelea na hiyo njia kuna mauti mbele yako. Na kama unasikiza the video that I had done before about a leper, and the way Jesus touched the leper and healed the leper, I'm also telling you now, Jesus is not afraid of your sins. Na hata kuchukia sababu ya dhambi zako. Kuja kwake saa hii uokoke. Na atakuokoa, na atakuponya, na atageuza maisha yako. And your life will have a meaning after you come to Jesus. So this morning, nawapenda sana. I love you guys. And I will be doing these videos more oftenly. And it is out of love that I'm doing this, to tell you about the love of Jesus. How He came for you. Jesus left 99 sheep and is looking for you. Wewe tu, wewe peke yako. Anakutafuta wewe, so that you may come to Him. So that you may not perish, but you may have everlasting life. Uko hell ni kuchomeka. Na sile kuchomeka tunachomeka kidogo ukufe. Ni unachomeka milele na milele. Uchungu wa milele na milele. And as I told you before, go to my timeline and see the videos that I have done. The hell was not made for human. Hell was made for the devil and his for the devil and the demons. You belong to Jesus. You belong to the fold. Come to Jesus now. Mungu abariki. Kuweni na siku njema. God bless you. Amen.